Hey guys, what's up? It's Jay from Sony Alpha Lab, and what I got here is the Sony FDR-X3000, and this is part 2 of the review. So I'm going to go over the camera body design and build quality in more detail in this part, and I'm also going to go over the housing. I'm going to show you, closely like how the doors work, the way that Sony designed the locking mechanisms and things like that. They really did a good job, and it's well thought out, and I have some experience using the camera now. So I also have my mountain bike, and I planned on using the handlebar strap, so I was going to show you how to hook that up if you wanted to try to do something like that. I mean, it's very simple, but I'll just show you quickly on my mountain bike, and I'll take it for a spin, and I'll show you the results. So that's what's going to go on in this part 2 of the review. Okay, so stay tuned, guys. All right, so from the top here you can see we have the on off button, and they're like rubber coated, and that turns the camera on and off. And then here you have the record button and the enter button. So when you're using the menu system, when you need to select an item, you're going to have to hit this top button, like that's your enter button. Menu is like your back button. So as you can see here on the screen, you can navigate here by pressing the menu button and the arrows. You can also use the monitor that I have mounted below on this particular grip I'm using. Very simple to use, and like I said already, the top button ends up being the enter button here, so the record button is also the enter button. Basically, if you want to set your camera up for different settings, you just go in here, and for this example, I'm just going to go into the menu and I'm going to select the video settings, and now I'm in the video settings area. And if you look on the top right, it's a little bit hard to see, but there's multiple pages. There's 3 pages there. And you can scroll through. If you hit the enter button, it's going to scroll through the pages, which is nice. Or you can hit the down buttons here and change your quality. And I'm actually going to change my quality off 4K. I was going to do some HD instead this time. So I'm going to select that. And then if I scroll up, I can change my recording mode. And this time I wanted to do some 120p. So I'm going to select 120p, like so. There we go. So now I have the camera set how I want to set it, and that should make some cool slow-mo footage. So another thing I wanted to show you here is this thing on the top that you can take off easily. It just has a lock switch here. Okay, so that takes that off, and it has a little leash. And I've been using this accessory because I wanted to just protect the lens a little bit when using the camera not in the housing. Just in case, God forbid I drop it or something like that, I could always buy another one of these, but I don't want to scratch the lens. So this is a cool accessory to have. So looking at the back of the camera, it's got a lock here for this side door. You can just pop that open. And in here is your password for your Wi-Fi. You're going to need that in order to set up the Play Memories, remote control feature via, the tablet if you want to use, or a smartphone, something like that. So that's where the password and stuff is for that. And this door has a nice rubber sealing. It kind of snaps in there really snug and has a lock there. And then this door opens up, and that's where you have your other ports. You got your microphone, your HDMI, and your USB plug. And again, it's a nice seal. It's got a nice rubber gasket there. You see that rubber gasket? Really well engineered, nice tight tolerances. So looking at it from the front, you can see the stereo microphone here, and that's another advantage of using this lens accessory here that just clips on, as opposed to using the underwater housing, which I'm going to show you in more detail in a minute. The housing will cover up those speakers, and the audio will be really muffled, A lot of times, if you really want quality audio, you're going to use an external mic anyways, but there's really no way to use an external mic with the underwater housing, obviously, either. This grip is really awesome, by the way. The more I use it, the more I like it. It just has this nice quick turn here to undo, and notice how it holds the monitor. It's got the little tripod. Really awesome. But anyways, I want to show you the bottom of this guy here. I just wanted to show you where the memory card goes in here, like so. And it's just a push style. You just push it and it clicks in and out, like so. It's a little hard to do, with big fat fingers like mine, but just use your nail and you push it in there. And this seal's really good. Again, you can see the rubber seal on the door. Note that rubber seal there. So that's why you can use this camera itself is splash resistant. It's all sealed up quite nice. So unless you're using an external mic, which does expose the back quite a bit, but otherwise it's rubber sealed doors on everything, which is very, very nice. All right, so here's the underwater housing, and you can see it's really nice. I mean, just very well designed, engineered. Sony thought this out quite well. You could see the bottom, how you can mount stuff to it. And it's got the buttons here, very nice. good feedback on the buttons, the spring pressure. And then on the top, it has the on off, and it has a hold switch here, which is awesome. That hold switch locks the record and the power button, so you can't accidentally turn the camera off when that's locked. That's a really nice feature, well thought out. You gotta push that and then pull it up, okay? It's a little bit tricky at first, then that unclips, and then you can see on the top hooks on that little bracket there. And you just unhook it. See the little tab hooks on there? You unhook it like so, now it's open. Alright, so here is the action camera and here is the housing, and I'm just gonna slide it in there like so. And then this is gonna go on top, like I showed you. I'm gonna hook on that little tab. Then the bottom's gonna come down. Basically have to just wrap this thing around it like so, and then it snaps in. So now the action camera is in the housing, and you can see it's just really well sealed. So now I want to mount this to my mountain bike. I think I'm going to leave it in the housing for this, just in case I fall. I don't want to take a chance of scratching the camera. So, alright, so basically on the front handlebar, I can mount this sucker like that, and like that. Alright, and then this turn thing, little lock screw goes over the top, and you just crank her down. Alright, that's it. It's tight. And this has a little turn on it. You can see there. So now I can mount the action camera like so, and then just turn this little screw, and it'll tighten right up. And there she is. Nice and tight, like so. Let's see here. Alright, and obviously I can play with that. I could turn it, I could rotate it, I could aim it up towards me. I could aim it down more at the tire, for example. And also, because of the way that this strap is designed, I can also mount it to other things. Like I can mount it to the fork, you know, down here. I can mount it around that, where I have the speedometer. I can mount it towards the back rear swing arm area. I can mount it around these bars, probably this one. But right there I think is good for now. That should result in some cool footage. And I'm going to wear the wrist monitor, the wristwatch style monitor, when I'm recording the video for the mountain bike footage, so this way I can see exactly what it looks like. So I'll be using this for that, okay? Alright guys, so that is it for part 2 of the Sony FDR-X3000 review, and it's so far, I gotta say, it's an awesome action camera. It's the best one I've ever used by far. The image stabilization is exceptionally good in my opinion, based on all the different testing, and you can see by the mountain bike footage, it's very versatile. You can mount the camera all around and get some cool angles and stuff. You know, the footage itself looks really good as well. The 120, 1080 at 120p, the quality looks excellent. It's very sharp and detailed. The colors look vibrant. In part 3 of this review, I'm going to go over some snowboarding. We're going to show you what this thing can do using this selfie stick, Aquapod. I'm going to do some snowboarding with that. And then I also need to test the motor vibration absorber with my dirt bike. I'm not sure if the dirt bike's going to start. We'll see about that. And then I will give you the conclusions of this action camera. But like I said, so far I can tell you it's really good. The quality is actually better than I expected on the video department. And even in low light, the quality is not that bad. But when it's bright out, I mean, it's exceptionally good.